Facebook page in the next few days. You can ask questions using the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen, and you can also chat to us in the chat room. So, Annalie, if you're ready to start, I think we can make a start.
Okay, thanks, Jamie. Hi, everyone, and welcome. So we're going to look at the task 2 today, and the specific essay question is the direct question. Okay. So basically what we're going to look at today is planning that kind of question, also structuring it. And, you know, we should get some good vocabulary here related to wealth, to money, and to happiness, success. Okay. So before we look at the specific one, we're just going to take a quick look at the differences between the general training and the academic. Okay, because there's an essay in both of those types, but there is a little bit of difference. Does anybody know, can anyone tell me what they think the differences, the overall differences are between the task 2 in the general training and the task 2 in the academic? Any ideas? Okay, it's the task 1 in the general training, which is a letter. Both of the task 2s are essays. It's a bit more of a specific difference. We're not quite sure here, so let's have a look. So generally in general training, the questions are phrased more simply, okay, and also the topics are more general. Whereas you can get a very, very specific type of question in the academic. Generally, it's going to be more on the area for the general training. Okay. But there also are probably more similarities than there are differences. So the same types of essay come up. So can anyone remember what are the different essay types that you can get? Any ideas? Okay, very good. Angel and Judah, so there's an opinion essay. What other kinds of essays? Very good. Pavneet, problem, solution. Okay, Angel, and yeah, the 2 question or the direct question, it has different names. Problem, solution, advantage and disadvantage, Emily, that's very good. Yeah. Okay. Discussion essay as well. Okay. Very good. So whether it's the general training or whether it's the academic, you can get those kinds of questions. Okay. The marking criteria is also exactly the same. So can anyone tell me what the 4 marking criteria are for the task 2? Okay, very good. Sweta, coherence and cohesion. Emily, task response. Okay, very good. Lexical resource and grammar. Okay. So you're going to be marked in the same 4 categories, whether you're doing general training or whether you're doing academic. Okay. And finally, the word count and the time allocation is the same. So can anybody just give me the word count, the minimum word count for the task 2? Okay, very good. Yes, Canella and Julian, minimum of 250. And yes, Fahad's already ahead of me. The time allocation is 40 minutes. Okay, and you do need 40 minutes to write a full essay and have time to plan and to check afterwards. Okay. So more similarities than differences, but you know, it is more general in the general training and more simply phrased, I would say. Okay. So let's have a look at our specific question. So remember, this week we're doing the direct question or the 2-part question, as somebody put it. So just have a look at the question and tell me what's the overall topic. What are we looking at with this question? Okay, yeah, wealth and what do we really, yes, okay, good, June. The measurement, how we measure success. So success, generally speaking, that is what we are looking at here. Okay, so always read the question slowly, carefully, make sure you understand exactly what the question is asking you. Okay, and then you need to identify each part. So remember, part of the task response is a complete essay. So if you only address one part of the task, then you can only get a 5 in task response, okay, which makes it very difficult to get, for example, a 7 overall for the task 2. All right. So we've got 2 parts here. So what are the 2 parts that we need to address in this task? Okay, so yes, we've got the 2 questions. What makes a person successful? And the first one is related to what specifically? Yeah, okay, yeah, how to measure success. Yeah, success and wealth. So how closely related to success is wealth. Okay. Very good idea before you start your plan to underline the key words. Okay, so then you are sure that you're complete, you're sure that everything is relevant. Okay, so in this particular question, which words would you underline? Which would you say are the key words here? Okay, yes, definitely wealth, success, material belongings. Okay, measure also very, very important. So that's what we're talking about. Okay, the best measure, yeah. A successful person also, yes. Okay, I would say all of those. Okay, so underline those key words and then you can make sure that you're completely focused on that particular area. Okay, and then you need to make your plan. Okay, very, very important, really important to make your plan before you start writing. Okay, then you know exactly what your content is. It is nearly all of them, Eftel, yeah, but it does keep you focused. Okay, so decide before you start writing what your response is, what your plan is, and how you're going to divide that up. Then when you're writing, you can focus on the grammar, you can focus on the linking phrases, you can focus on the vocabulary and get that as good as it can be. Okay. So we've got two questions, so that will be 2 body paragraphs, okay? 1 paragraph for each of the questions. First paragraph, we're going to answer the first question. So what kind of ideas would you have for that? What would you put in your plan? Do you think wealth is the best measure of success? Okay, good. So going to answer very much like a yes, no, and then maybe a little bit more detail. What kind of supporting evidence can you give for that? Okay. Okay, yes, you could say no, happiness is. Okay. Okay, we got a yes from Judith. Hard work pays off. Okay, that's interesting. Eftel, wealth is the result rather than the measure. Person may be rich but unhealthy. Okay, very, very good. One of the measures but not the best. That's quite, I like that. Hala. Okay, good. So we got a lot of it's something but not everything. Yeah. Okay. So we can say we've gone for no. It's not just about being rich. And you can't buy happiness. Okay, it's not a commodity. It's not something that you can purchase. Okay, okay, good, Devendra. I like that's based on your level of satisfaction or the goals that you have. Okay, So then the second part is what makes a successful person. So in this case, we're going to be looking at some other ways that you can define success or measure success. So what other things make a successful person other than wealth, if we think maybe wealth is not the best measure? Okay, very nice, lovely. Love and respect. Judith, determinations and goals. Very good. Canellis, good job. Contribution to society, Chris, very nice. Okay, so yeah, it's about the impact. Health, values, principles, Pooja, yeah. Quality of life, satisfaction. Okay, very, very nice. Accomplishments, Hala, very nice. Okay, got some great vocabulary there, great ideas. Okay, so very similar. We've gone to health, quality of relationships, and contributing to society. Okay, I like that one, Samin. Mental peace, that I think is very important. Okay, so we've got our notes here, so we know what our content is. We've also got our paragraph structure, so we don't need to worry about that afterwards. Then we can go into the actual writing of the essay. Okay, so really, really make sure that you've got that plan down before you start writing. Okay, so let's think about the structure of how we're going to put this into a full essay. So what are the different parts that we need to include in a task 2 essay? Okay, that's right, Julian, the introduction. Okay, and then the body paragraphs, and then, okay, good, the conclusion. Okay, very good. So what are we going to do in the introduction? What are the different elements of the introduction? Okay, very good, Basil. Kind of general sentence, paraphrase the question. Okay, good, rephrase or paraphrase the question. All right, and then, okay, it's very good. We've got a thesis statement, or what else can you have after you paraphrase the question? You can have a thesis statement or an outline statement. Very good, Ramana, very good. Okay, so we paraphrase the question and we give the outline statement. Okay, no details, just very general in the introduction. Okay. So then we look at the 2 body paragraphs. Generally 2 is always going to work with the task 2 essays. So what are we going to do in body A? Okay, very good. Yes, we've got the topic sentence. So very good, very well remembered. So we're going to introduce the first question. Yes, very good, Chris. We're going to answer the first question very directly. Okay. Then how can we follow that up? Okay, Jen's already there. Explanation, example, reason, example. Very good, Doan. Okay, so give a reason for your argument, for your idea, and very good, Jayashri. Give an example or some examples. Okay. So therefore, in the body B, we are going to do what? Okay, yeah, basically, Murad, you're going to do the same, but this time you're going to answer the second question, okay? But your format for the paragraph, your layout for the paragraph is going to be the same, okay? So directly answer the second question and then give your supporting evidence, all right? And then the last part is the conclusion. So what are we going to include in the conclusion? Okay, yes, summarize or state your main ideas again. Okay, very good, Basil. Yeah, restate the key points, the main ideas, okay, to both questions. So you're bringing the 2 questions together here in the conclusion and summarizing what you've said. Okay, that's very nice, Hala. I like that. You can link together what you said about the first question and what you said about the second question. Okay, So there we've got our structure for a direct question essay. Okay, it's always going to look like that. Yeah, and do not include new ideas. Very good, Angel. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to our specific question that we were looking at. So we're looking at success, and we've got those 2 direct questions. So we're going to look at the introduction. Now we're paraphrasing. What are the different ways that we can paraphrase? Okay, very good. So you could change from active to passive or passive to active. You could use synonyms. Okay, you could change the word formation. Very good. Okay. Yeah. So synonyms, the form of the word, so verb, noun, adjective, the structure of the sentence, Malika, exactly, that's very good. So the sentence structure, the word order, and active or passive voice, okay? So let's have a look at some of these in more detail. So what could be a good synonym for wealth? Okay, very nice. Affluence. Okay, yeah, riches would be, remember, here we're just keeping the word formation the same, okay, or being rich. Okay. Any other words for wealth? We've got riches, money, okay, yeah, money, all right. What about belongings? What's another word for belongings? Okay, good word, Pooja, materialistic. Okay, property, treasures, possessions. Okay, good. Assets, very good, June. I like that. Okay. Okay, so the things that your property is to what you own, the land, for example, that you own could be. Okay, let's look at word form. So success is the noun. What's the verb from success? Any ideas? Okay, very good. Olga and Angel, Duan, succeed. Okay, and what's the adjective? Yeah, you're right, Samal, succeed. Okay, very good, Pavneet, successful. Okay, we're just looking at word formation now. What about wealth? What's the adjective from wealth? Okay, very good. Wealthy, very good. What's a synonym for measure? Sorry, we didn't do measure before. What's another way of saying a measure of something? Okay, very nice. Fahad, indicator, Chris, gauge. Very nice. Okay, very good. All right, and we've got success is often measured. So we've got a passive. So how could we make that active? Very tricky one. Yes, okay, so you could say some people measure or many people measure success by, okay. So let's have a look at what we looked at specifically. So remember, you've got a general statement at the beginning, which is usually about either what's happening today or what has changed over the past few years. So if we look at we've got a nice time phrase for our first linking phrase. What could we put in the gap? Okay, it could be, okay, very nice, materialistic. Very good. Modern would work as well. Okay, we've gone for materialistic, so we're very much focusing on belongings and wealth. Okay. Then we've got a way of introducing a general opinion. Okay. Okay, Mohammed, yeah, it is often said that, or it is often believed. Yeah, remember we're using a passive here, so it's often believed that. Could also say it is often argued that. So a good phrase for introducing a general opinion. Okay, so what could we put in the, okay, very good, money, yeah. Okay, and material, Okay, very good. Possessions. So here we've got the synonyms for wealth and the synonyms for belongings. Okay. Are the, okay. Key is quite good, but it would be key to a successful life. Okay. All right. Yeah. Indicator is what we're looking at. Okay. Measure works, but we had measure in the question, so let's use something different. So we can use indicator, or we could say the sign. Okay, the sign. Oh, bedrock. Fumi, very nice, excellent. Very much an band 8 level vocabulary there. Okay, very good. So that's paraphrasing the statement. And then we're going to say what we're going to do in the essay. Okay, all right. Oh, yardstick as well. Very good. Got some great vocabulary coming in here. So remember, we always need to begin with academic phrase. So this essay will, okay, discuss, consider. Okay, we could use determined, very nice. Okay, we've looked at analyze also, Samin, very good. So this essay will consider whether, okay, being wealthy really is the best. Think about your verb form, the best, yeah, form works. Okay, measure, but remember we've already used measure. Indicator. Okay, good, Jonathan. I think here we could use indicator or criterion for success would work as well. All those ones that we looked at earlier on. Okay. So whether being wealthy really is the best indicator of success. How are we going to continue that sentence? Okay, very good, Eftel. Yeah, or, and then how could we continue that? Okay, well, you got factors. So we're repeating the whether because it's very academic. So whether being wealthy or whether there are other, okay, very nice factors, Jonathan, Samin, parameters, hala signs. Those are all really, really good words. So we've gone for factors, okay, which, okay, very nice, Doan, contribute, okay, or lead. Remember, we've got the to there, so you've got to make sure that your grammar works, okay, quite nice, okay. So we've gone for contribute, okay, motivate to a person. Yeah, I think lead to or contribute to are definitely the best ones. Okay, so we've got a very good range of vocabulary here. We've got a good range of linking phrases as well. We haven't used the same vocabulary or structure as the words in the task. So we're showing grammar, vocabulary, cohesion and coherence already. Okay. So let's move on to the body paragraph. So remember, in the first body paragraph, we are answering the first question. So you can see the plan that we made at the top there. Okay, so let's have a look at how we're going to lay out the paragraph. So how can we start our first body paragraph? Okay, remember there's a comma. Okay, very nice, Mochaba. Yeah, that's very good. Okay. So actually, we're starting a complex sentence here. So you could say, you know, in general, but you need to have a conjunction there. So while wealthy people, or although, as Mochaba said, wealthy people are often seen as successful. And then we're going to introduce our point of view because this is a direct answer to the question. Okay, very good. I believe that. Okay, I consider that, Angels. I mean, yeah, that works very well as well. Okay, we've got disagree. So Mochaba's is really on top of it today. Yeah, he's doing everything. So I disagree that a person's, okay, success, rate of success. Okay, we've got happiness. Okay, so here we got achievements. So success, achievements. A lot of you put achievements earlier on, so that works very well. Should be measured by wealth. Any ideas? Yeah, okay. Oh, Mohammed, very good, very good. And any Bukum, very, very nice use of the phrases there. Yeah, measured by wealth alone. Very good structure, very high level structure to use there. Okay, good stuff. So we've answered the question. Now we need to give our supporting evidence. First of all, we're going to explain why we think that's the case. Okay, so what's the linking phrase we can use to introduce a reason? Okay, very good. Muchaba. Okay, we got a lot there. Yeah, this is because. Okay, clear linking phrase indicating a reason. Yeah. You could also say due to the fact that, Angel, that sure it works very well. So money cannot buy happiness. Okay, and how can we continue that sentence? Okay, good. Okay, so we're connecting here to the happiness, so that's which. Okay, but you could also, you could continue with so and then give a follow-on reason. So happiness, which I believe is a more reliable. Okay, quite like this. Indicator, I think, is good. Basis, that's very nice. Yeah, okay. So we've got indication. So you've got indicator and indication. You can both use, works very well. Or, yeah, maybe we could go back to measure here. Yeah. Of whether an individual has lived okay, very nice, Mohammed. Very good. Yeah. Fulfilling works very well. Happy, fulfilled, successful. But yeah, a full life, a good life, successful life, enjoyable. Okay, very good. Yeah, all right. So now we're going to add a little bit more supporting evidence. So we've got a good, solid paragraph. So we can give a more specific example related to the wealth. Okay, an extraordinary life. Very nice, John. I like that. That's really good. Okay, happy life. So let's go like more detailed. So how do we introduce an example? Okay, very good, Swetha. For instance, okay, or for example. Yeah, so in this case, we're going with for example. Okay, to illustrate, Judith, that's very nice. And John, very good. Okay, so let's give some more. So a person may live in so we're talking about the wealthy person here. So that person may live in other way around. Very good vocabulary. Okay, very nice. I'm at mansion, a glass house, a mansion, a palace. Okay, a fancy house, a castle. And we're looking for the place. Bungalows, maybe a posh villa. Okay, these are great. Remember, you need a noun. So there's some good adjectives here, but you would need to add, home after that. So a lavish home or a luxurious home. Okay, we've gone with mansion. Okay, bungalows aren't necessarily luxurious in the UK. I don't know about anywhere else, but they can be quite small and not particularly great. Yeah. Okay. Maybe this wealthy person drives a Porsche, a luxury car, a sports car. Okay, a brand new car. Okay, very good. Okay, so we're going for luxury car, bulletproof car, Francis. Oh, hi, Francis. You're there again. Oh, top of the line, Mohammed. Very nice. That is very good. State of the art, June. Very good. Or yeah, Rolls Royce, so we can have the actual make. Okay, a swanky car. Very so the most amazing vocabulary coming out today. Really, really good. Okay, state of the art. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what we can do. And where. Why would you drive a car if you're rich? Good point, Estelle. I think you'd have a chauffeur, wouldn't you? Okay, designer clothes, branded, very nice. Armani suit. Yeah, okay, so fancy, expensive. Fancy is a little bit informal. I mean, it's a great piece of vocabulary, but a little bit informal for the academic essay. Okay, so yeah, we've gone for designer. Very nice, classy, Francis. I like that. Okay. So this person may have all of these things and yet, very good. Dohan, Amit, yeah, sorry, Chris. Get those out. Yeah, and yet still be depressed and unhappy. Yeah. Oh, perhaps works as well. Yeah. Sadly, yeah, something like that. That would work as well. Okay. Good. Okay, so give your answer to the question directly and then your supporting evidence. Okay, and then we kind of bring it together. So such a person. So we've got a very nice linking phrase there back to the wealthy person, but we're not having to repeat the vocabulary again. So yeah, such a person would not be considered successful by most people. Okay, so, or seen as, you would have to say. Okay, deemed, very nice, Chris. So again, that would be deemed as successful, or, you know, deemed successful would be fine. Yeah. Okay, very good. So it's always nice to have a kind of wrap up sentence at the end of each paragraph. Okay. So then we were going to look at the different ways that you could be considered to be successful. Okay. So these were the three that we had gone for. So again, directly answer the question, okay, in the first line. That's your topic sentence in this case. So to carry on from what we've said before, so we've said we don't really think it's wealth. So therefore, we need to talk about what it is. So it is, okay, yeah, we could say believe that, maybe obvious. It is my belief that, very nice, Mohammed. Okay, or it is clear that. Okay, so again, introductory phrase to begin the topic sentence. Evident is very nice as well. Yeah, okay, unanimously agreed that, very good. Okay, so money is not the only factor. Okay, oh, crystal clear, I like that. So again, the measure, the factor, those kind of words, the criterion, okay, that contributes towards a happy and successful life. Okay, and then the same structure, remember, that we looked at before. So give a reason. So again, we've got a nice, very academic way of introducing. Here it's more research than people's beliefs. So that gives us another angle to look at. So there's a growing body of research which, okay, states is very nice, proves, suggests, Angel, very nice, reveals, indicates. Okay, these are all very nice expressions. We've gone for suggests. Okay. That other elements play an important, okay, very good. You got your good collocation there, play an important role. Okay. So now we need to get a bit more specific. Okay, so we've got an example. So last time we used for example. So what shall we use this time? Okay, yeah, Julian, so we can use for instance. So we're not repeating the same one. Exactly, yes, Samuel, Ludovica. Okay, for instance. Okay, then we're going to be a bit more specific. So now we're going to explain what we think makes a successful person. Okay, so a person who has, what's a good adjective we could use to, okay, solid, Mohammed, I like that, healthy, close, okay, long-term, strong, these are all very good adjectives to use. Meaningful, Ludovica, that's great. Stable, Pooja, okay, very good. Okay, true. So we've gone for loving, okay. I'd avoid using words like great. Again, they're a little bit informal, better for the speaking, okay? Positive, that's fine, that's good as well. So that's our first one. So that's the quality of the relationships. Okay, and then again, if we have health, what could we use? What kind of adjective could we use? Okay, sound health, very good collocation again, guys. Okay, good health you can use. Optimum health works very well as well, yeah. Okay, so we've gone for good health. Okay, good collocation there. And then we're looking at contributing to society. So a little bit of a word formation here. So makes a okay, if you changed it to an, so contribution to, a difference to, and you can add an adjective in there, so like a meaningful contribution to, positive, Nwanda, very nice, yeah. Impact would be on, so just you would have to change the preposition, but that would work very well as well. Okay, so a contribution to society. All right, okay. So this kind of person is likely to feel happy and to be, okay, you could say, yeah, consider successful, more would work as well. Yeah, okay. Gone for considered successful. Deemed, Francis, is very good as well. Yeah. And how can we continue that? So we've got sort of not, okay, very good. Even if, so we're going back to what we were talking about in the first paragraph. So even if or even though works as well. They are not, okay, very, okay. How else? Necessarily, Mohammed, very nice. Okay. Any others? Not truly works very well, or extremely. We've gone for particularly. Okay, not particularly wealthy. Okay. So nice link back there to the first paragraph where we were focused on the wealth aspect of the task. Okay. So done our 2 body paragraphs. Now we need to bring this together for our conclusion. So remember, you need to summarize both answers in the conclusion. Don't forget the first paragraph that you looked at there. And restate your overall idea. Okay. Remember, also very, very important, conclusion. You cannot introduce a new idea in the conclusion, okay? It must just be a restating of what you've mentioned earlier on. Okay, so how can we begin our conclusion? Okay, yeah, we could say, therefore, what are those kind of conclusion linking phrases? Okay, to sum up, in conclusion, all in all, okay, very good. All right, so we've gone for in conclusion. Okay, wealth cannot be the best measure of success. So just restating that we don't believe our answer to the first question is no, basically. Okay. How am I going to continue that? It cannot be the best measure of success. Okay, yeah, because as, Olga, very nice. So you're giving, or since, Malika. So yeah, you're giving the explanation. So as or since or because, all of those would work. Being wealthy does not, okay, very nice. I mean, guarantee or buy, okay, or bring or define. Okay, that's very, very good. Some great language here. We've gone for guarantee. Okay, very good. Okay, happiness, something, okay, so related back to the happiness, which many people would consider, okay, kind of like that, essential, yeah, vital, crucial, okay, very, very good, or key, a prerequisite, Francis, very nice, critical, really, really good, yeah, we've gone for necessary. But all of those are really, really good ways that you could do that, okay? Restate my opinion. So in my Okay, very good. In my opinion, people should aim to cultivate their, what can you cultivate? Okay, their relationships. Okay, their happiness. Okay, so relationships. Okay, and then we had health. Okay, and what was the other one that we looked at of those three things? Okay, values works very nicely as well. Yeah. Okay, positive role in society. Yeah, making an impact. So we've gone generally for community. So relationships, health, and community. Community building, very nice. I mean, yeah. So if you cultivate your relationships, health, and community, to ensure, very nice. Okay, to build, to achieve. Okay, very good. And we've gone for achieve. Okay, true happiness and success in life. Okay, so bringing everything together that we've talked about in the conclusion. Okay, so that is the end of the presentation. Jamie?
Fantastic, Annalie. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for some of the amazing responses and vocabulary that you've shared with us. That's been really illuminating.
Yeah.
And I hope you found this presentation helpful and that you have a clearer idea of how to answer the direct question essay from the back of this. So we have a lot of your questions to go through. If you do have additional questions you'd like us to answer, feel free to pop them into the Q&A. You can also vote for the questions you'd like us to discuss first. So the most popular questions, if you choose them, we'll take them in that order. Okay, so a few questions actually in the chat for now. Nagawang is asking, do we have some of this kind of program often? Nagawang, we do have a weekly webinar on the same day, on a Thursday at the same time, and I'll put the program for the next webinars in the chat so you can see that. So Annalie, shall we jump in and take a look at the first, into the Q&A? It's filling up pretty quickly already. So Faris came in very early on with the first question. I think he put about 4 questions in actually before anyone else. So well done, Faris. His first question is, should we start with task 2 rather than task 1 in the writing section?
Well, you can, first of all, because you get both tasks together and you have 1 hour. So it's really a question of personal choice, I think. If you feel like you would like to get that done and be certain, I've done my task 2, I've got my conclusion, and then move on to the task 1, I think that's a good idea, actually, because the task 2 is worth more. You know, so it's very important to get that done. Just make sure you don't overrun and not leave enough time to do the task 1, because you do need to get a good score in task 1 as well. But yeah, I would, you know, maybe when you're practicing, practice doing both ways. Do the task 1 followed by the task 2, do the task 2 followed by the task 1, see how it feels.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to answer a few people who are asking in the chat if it's possible to see the full essay. It's going to be difficult for us to share the full essay with you, but you'll be able to see the recordings for this presentation. It'll be on our Facebook page early next week. So from there, you'll be able to see all the slides and the whole essay. So you will be able to find that. I'll post the link in the comments as well. A second question from Fares. This is to do with giving your opinion. When the essay asks for your opinion, is it possible to agree and disagree with both sides? Or do you have to agree with one side and disagree with the other side?
No, you can agree and disagree. So that's a balanced essay. So you would have one body paragraph where you give arguments supporting the statement. Then you would have a second body paragraph with arguments disagreeing with the statement. Then in the conclusion, you need to give your own opinion. But when you do the conclusion, you should definitely come down on one side or the other. Okay, but your body paragraphs can definitely 100%, you can look at both sides. Okay.
Excellent. Yep. And the top questions are all from Fares. He's on fire today. So thank you, Fares. Fares is asking about the opinion. So in an opinion essay, should we give our opinion in the introduction, in the conclusion, or both?
Yeah, so you basically have two choices in the introduction. You can finish with a thesis statement, which is when you give your opinion briefly, or you can finish the introduction with an outline statement, which is where you say what you are going to do in the essay. Both of them are perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. In the conclusion, you should definitely give your opinion in the conclusion. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. A question from Doan. If I don't have enough knowledge about a given topic, what should I do?
Well, first of all, the questions are general. Okay, so there shouldn't be too much difficulty. There won't be any technical questions. But really, the main thing you need to do is the preparation. So you need to sort of look at as many different questions as you can, so that you've looked at a whole range of topics and a whole range of different types of questions. As part of your preparation, again, I would watch documentaries, read articles on these kind of typical topics for IELTS, like technology, pollution, family, things like that, and try and build up your arguments and your ideas. So I would say that's definitely part of your preparation, as well as writing essays, is to do sort of research, as it were, on these topics.
Definitely. And if I could jump in and do a bit of promotion for our own website, which is IELTSonlinetest.com. We have a whole range of reading tests which are freely available on there, which you can go through, and they will give you, some ideas for possible writing topics as well as reading practice. Mm-hmm. We also offer a premium speaking service and a writing evaluation service. So if you're interested in getting a bit more practice with your writing or your speaking, you can do a full mock test with an examiner and get feedback on your performance. So that's something that's available on our website as well. Just wanted to mention that. So we have a question actually from Eleanor. It's not really a question. She's saying good evening. So good evening, Eleanor. And Eleanor was also asking about the availability of the slides. They'll be on our Facebook page, Eleanor, so you can find them there. A question from Temidayo. Temidayo is asking, are we allowed to use a semicolon or a colon in our task 2 essays?
No, I wouldn't. I think it's very risky. It's not good grammar. It's very much a kind of, shorthand, and it doesn't show your grammar, your grammatical ability. So no, don't use colons and semicolons, but use different sentence structures. So use conjunctions and prepositions and participles, which, all of those kinds of things. And that's when the examiner can give you a good score for the grammar. Okay. Francis is asking for the Facebook link patiently, as he's pointed out. So I wanted to reward his patience.
Thanks for your patience, Francis. That's the link there. Thank you, Olga, for posting as well. All our webinar slides are available on there from all our previous topics as well. So you can find the recordings through that link. Another question from Fares. Hello, Fares. I hope you're still here, Fares. If you are, say hello in the chat. Your patience
Very
ought to
active.
be rewarded. Fares is asking, is it possible to use correction pen to change some words in the test? Hello, Fares.
He's hey, Muzzle's there too. No, you can't. You can only cross if you're writing in pen. You can cross out and write somewhere else, but you're not really able to take anything into the exam room apart from pen, pencil, rubber, that kind of thing. So, but also remember that the examiners are very used to people crossing things out and putting stars and and changing the order of stuff, so don't worry too much about that. It's just part of what happens.
Yeah, exactly. We have a question from Sawetha, who is asking, is it necessary to leave a line when we start a new paragraph?
It's not necessary, but I think it's a very, very good idea, because then it is really clear to the examiner where your paragraphs end, where the next paragraph begins. It's easier to deal with when you see it. And using paragraphs well, clear paragraphs is very, very important for the coherence and cohesion section. So you definitely want to make it clear, and one of the best ways of making it clear is to leave a line between the paragraphs.
Yeah, definitely. A question from Judith about the structure of the essay. Can she apply this structure in all types of questions?
You'll be using the same structure, the introduction, two body paragraphs, and then the conclusion. So that is always going to be the same for the task 2 essays. But the actual layout of the body paragraphs is going to be a little bit different depending on the type of essay that you're answering, and also the language is going to be different as well. But the overall structure is always going to be the same.
Yeah, and you can check out examples of the different structures on our Facebook page as well. We have different webinars for different types of essay, and that will help you to see the difference between those different structures. Question from anonymous attendee. Hi there, anonymous. If you're there, identify.
I'm not going to blow something up.
Who is asking, should the length of the introduction or conclusion be short or long? Is there a specific length we'd recommend for the introduction and the conclusion?
Definitely shorter than the body paragraphs. As we looked at here, we had 2 elements in the introduction, so paraphrasing the question and outline statement, and that's basically enough. And in the conclusion, kind of summarize the body paragraphs and give your opinion again. So really you've got 2 elements in the introduction, 2 elements in the conclusion. You don't want to put any detail in either the introduction or the conclusion. That's very important because it will confuse your response, basically. So keep them pretty short, yeah, but not 1 sentence. That's too short.
Yeah, definitely. Not too much detail in either, and definitely no new points in your conclusion. Don't start introducing new information there. Hi, Canella. Canella Barr. A question from you. It's the same as Judith's, though, about the essay structure. So just wanted to say hello. For another question from Anonymous, actually, should the tone of the essay be formal or informal?
Okay, task 2 essay is always going to be formal. Very important. Academic English, formal vocabulary, no contractions like, don't, isn't. You can't use contractions. No short forms like etc. or eg or anything like that, because that's not formal. Okay.
Yeah, I have just put the webinar program in the chat for the rest of April. So next week we will be looking at the speaking part 1. The following week on April 18th, IELTS General Training, Task 1, writing an informal letter. And then the final webinar for April will be Task 1 Academic, describing a map. Okay, so just to let you know what's coming up in the next few weeks, you can register for them via our website, IELTSonlinetest.com. Okay, so thanks very much. Let's see. We have time for a few more questions, Annalie.
Sure.
We have a question from Fahad, who is asking about the agree-disagree essay. Do we have to agree in paragraph 1 and disagree in paragraph 2, or can I agree in both paragraphs?
If the question is to what extent do you agree or disagree, then yes, you can agree in both paragraphs, or you can do a balanced essay, which would be agree in one, disagree in the other. If the question is discuss both topics or discuss both sides and give your opinion, then you need to do a balanced essay. You must have first paragraph supporting the first statement and second paragraph supporting the second statement. Poor Murad's put the same question up 3 times in the chat, so I don't know if we can. Yep. So the general topics, it's quite hard to just give a list, though. Do we have a list on the website?
Yep, if you go to IELTSonlinetest.com and you look at the recent actual tests, that you will find many, many examples of actual previous topics that you can practice. So that will give you an idea of the general topics that are discussed. Yeah. Definitely. I've just seen as well that Fares is saying, I have my IELTS exam on the 6th of April. So in 2 days, any final tips?
Whoa.
Best of luck, Fares.
Best of luck, first of all. Got my fingers crossed for you. Stay calm, stay focused, write a plan. Give yourselves a couple of minutes at the end to check. That's the most important thing. And just keep it really focused, really streamlined. Make it easy for the examiner to follow what you're saying. That's the really important thing. You know, I want to be able to just read your essay through and go, yeah, I've got it. I understand all his points. I understand all his supporting evidence. I understand his point of view. 7. Okay. Oh, poor Elena, also on the 6th. Well, don't freak out.
Best of luck, Elena. You'll be fine. You can do it. Okay. So I'm afraid that we are coming up to the end of today's webinar. So we're not going to be able to take any more of your questions. If you would like to send them in to our Facebook page, we can do our best to answer you on there. You can drop us an email. You can get in touch via our website, IELTSonlinetest.com. I'd like to say a very big thank you to Annalie for presenting today. And a very big thank you to everyone for taking part. It's been lovely to see you. And hope to see you again in a future webinar.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good luck if you've got your exam coming up. Yeah.
Best of luck to you. Cheers, everyone. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye.